Wow, this is a crowd. Thank you all for coming out. My name is Jared Gerber. I'm the city manager for Cottonwood Heights. I want to thank everyone who's joined us today to witness and celebrate this important event in our city's history. Your presence here reflects a shared commitment to public service, civic engagement, and the future of Cottonwood Heights. We are grateful to our elected officials, city staff, family members, community residents, and others who have taken the time to be part of today's swearing-in ceremony. This is being broadcast today as well. It's now my honor to introduce our MC for this evening, former Utah Senator Karen W. Morgan. Senator Morgan is a respected Utah leader, educator, and longtime advocate for community and public service. Born in Ogden and a resident of Salt Lake County for many years, she earned her Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education from the University of Utah and began her career as a high school teacher. Her public service career began in 1998 when she was elected to the Utah House of Representatives, where she served for 10 years. She later served in the Utah Senate from 2009 to 2013, representing Senate District 8 and holding the leadership position for Minority Whip. Throughout her legislative career, Senator Morgan was a strong advocate for education, literacy, healthcare, and children and families. She sponsored legislation that established the University of Utah Reading Clinic, helped with the creation of Canyon School District through a bill she sponsored in 2007, and later founded the Best Schools Coalition, continuing her work to strengthen public education in Utah. Of special significance to our community, Senator Morgan was also a key legislative supporter during the efforts to incorporate Cottonwood Heights, helping local leaders navigate the process that led to our city's successful incorporation in 2005. Her support played an important role in shaping Cottonwood Heights into what it is today. Senator Morgan continues to be deeply engaged in civic and community service, and she brings a lifetime of leadership and dedication to public life. Please join me in welcoming Senator Karen Morgan, who will take us through the remainder of today's events.
It is so great to be here with you today. Wow. Among so many dear friends, colleagues, council members, former council members, it just gives me chills to be here. As I was sitting there in the chair, I looked out the windows over there and I remembered our ribbon cutting ceremony for this building. And, you know, it's amazing what things have taken place here in Cottonwood Heights City since our very beginnings. I just want to welcome all of you here today to help us celebrate Cottonwood Heights City, its many successes, and now its new beginnings. You know, when I look back on the very early days of Cottonwood Heights City, we had such high hopes and great dreams for this city, but what all of you have done has far surpassed our greatest dreams for this city. What an incredible place to be, and what great things that you have done. To start off, we'd like to invite the Cottonwood Heights Police Department to come forward to post the colors, followed by Council Member Matt Holton, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then Council Member Suzanne Highland, who will share some thoughts and remarks with us, and we'll go to that point. Thank you.
Honor guard, hold. Honor guard, left, face. Honor guard, zip, arm.
Please repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic.
Honor guard, order, arm. Honor guard, post, color.
Forward, march. You may be seated. Thank you.
It is wonderful to see so many of you here for this ceremony. Um, I just stand back in awe at times that we have this tradition of a peaceful transfer of power. And as we close a year of unthinkable, unconscionable political violence that happened in our own state, it's refreshing to be reminded this year of the 250th anniversary of our great nation that celebrates freedom, equality, and the pursuit of happiness. I cannot minimize that in human history. It is amazing that though it's messy and it has been with its challenges, that this country has survived and that we are not subject to a dictatorship or a monarchy, and that we did not have to go to war when we changed power. So I appreciate that very much about living here in the US. Today, what I think all of us here and strive for as we hear in the news about the divide in our country, what most people come to me says, how do you have political conversations? And what they're really asking for us is to remember that we can have civil discussion. And what I'm most grateful for in the council in the 2 years that we have served, or that I have served on this council, is that we have had civil and dignified discussions. And I'm grateful for my council colleagues. I'm grateful for the Mayor Wickers. And I'm also had many conversations with soon-to-be Mayor Benyon, and that we can continue to act with civility. I also want to call for dignity. Every human life deserves dignity, that we continue to respect each other. And mostly what I'd like to ask for is grace. Grace for myself and grace for others, because this is a very messy human existence, that we come to each other honoring how difficult it can be, but also remembering that we can work things through when we talk to each other and when we have discussions so that we can come to an agreement. We may not always agree exactly, but we can move forward because of the way we treat each other. And last, I want to share with you, I actually called my insurance agent today, and I got his voicemail. And so you would expect on a voicemail to hear something like, "Hello, this is Stephen R. Fisher. Sorry we missed you." But it did not start that way. It started with, "Today is a great day to be kind and show respect to others." That uplifted my day. So I hope remember that as we go forward. And I look forward to serving a few more years with these great colleagues. Thank you.
Okay, we are fortunate to have with us today members of the Brighton High School Choir to share their musical talents. And I would just like to say that Brighton's choir has been providing top-notch training to its students and outstanding musical performances in our community for many, many years. So we'll turn the time over to them. Thank you.
was still there. That star-spangled banner, the free. Oh, 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 oh.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Your music is an inspiration to all of us here today. Wow, that is so beautiful. Um, okay, so now we would like to invite the Cottonwood Heights City Recorder, Tiffany Jansen, forward, and Council Member-elect Sean Newell, and Council Member Ellen Burrell, and Mayor-elect Gay Lynn Benyon to come forward to take the oath of office.
I, Ellen Burrell, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Utah, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
I, Gaylyn Benyon, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Utah, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations to each of them. Now we would like to hear a few words from each. We would like to first invite Councilmember Sean Newell to come up, followed by Councilmember Ellen Burrell, and then our new mayor, Galen Benyon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad everybody's awake. There are times when I have to pinch myself, knowing that I'm in this position to be able to serve all the constituents of this city. I've been involved in community work and state work yeah, for a long, long time. And this has been one of the greatest opportunities for me to grow and learn by being part of this city council. I carry a great sense of pride every time I'm walking my dog in our streets, every time I drive to one of our businesses, every time I come to our council meetings to be able to share what the concerns of our residents are. And for me, I don't plan on changing that. I'm going to make sure that for the next 4 years, I continue to devote myself to this community and to be able to work collaboratively with everyone involved. That's our residents, our council, our committees, folks that come into our city, everyone, because it is important, as Suzanne stated, that we consider our humanity, no matter where we are, what space we are in life, and where we are in our individual lives as we come into this existence each and every morning. So for me, it's just a great pleasure to be here. It's a great pleasure to serve you, and I look forward to it. If anybody ever has any questions or any desires to gain information, please reach out. I love to engage our residents, and for me, this is my city and your city, so we have to do it together. Thank you very much.
Well, I asked our city manager if there wasn't a stool I can stand on. Can you imagine sitting next to Sean Newell for 4 years? So I'm on my tippy toes, and I will say that I had quite a speech together to share, and I am so moved by everyone present today that I'm going to diverge from the original path that I went on. And I want to start by acknowledging every single person in this room, from the many dignitaries that have joined us today. I can remember when Karen Morgan first took office. That's the joy I want to assure all of you who are younger than me. You're going to love it. If you stay healthy, getting older is marvelous because you have a history. And as Karen Morgan said, it gives you a real appreciation for where we can go, and when we do it together, what we can do. I want to acknowledge Mayor Mike Wickers. His 4 years of service to this city brought out all his best qualities, brought many great things to our city, and I bet he'd love to come up and list the many accomplishments. And so, like Suzanne Hyland said, thank you. Thank you for always acknowledging all of us. We didn't always see things the same way. We often did in private conversations. There isn't one person in this room that I couldn't find 5 things that I agree with you on, at least. And so let's continue to look for those things where we can find alignment and agreement. We have compassion for those in our community who are struggling. One of the things that I have seen so pronounced in the past 4 years, is a level of blighting. And the word blight is not something that would come to mind for a place like Cottonwood Heights, but we have many residents who are struggling. They're struggling with the higher cost of water and many other essential services and goods. And so together we need to find ways to meet the extreme challenges of this 21st century. They're real. To go through a month of December where it barely got below freezing, that it's not only an economic disaster. Having worked for 20 years, a total of 50 years, if you count my husband and my experience in the ski industry, how these resorts even make it through when they aren't able to pull their numbers in December. But we as humans have to face the fact that the 3 main things that keep us going are air, water, and soil. And so of the many things that we need to attend to, from economic development and all the things that bring prosperity to our communities, we cannot lose sight of the very things that sustain all living creatures. And so, whether it's for my grandchildren, who I am so thrilled to see, Kennedy's in the front row there, to my husband, my brothers here, so for so many reasons, I am excited for those that I love most closely and those of you who I haven't even met yet. Let's work together. Let's share. Let's look for the best in each other, and we will find it. All right, here's to the next 4 years.
Okay, thank you. I'll repeat. Most of what I want to say today is thank you. I want to thank the many people who have helped me arrive here today. We just finished my 4th election in 6 years. So many of the people here today have knocked doors with me, have knocked doors for me, have supported me, and I want to thank you. And I want to thank the many people over the last 5 years, constituents, as I have served as your state representative, who have called me and emailed me and asked me questions that have made me a better, more informed person through your interactions with me. So I thank you. And I want to commit that whether you supported me in the past or not, I will be your mayor. I will listen, I welcome your engagement, and I want our office to be always open to you. And so one of the things I'm committing to is every Friday, I will be there from 2 to 5 in the afternoon, and I welcome residents to come and share ideas with me, share your concerns with me. I also want to thank my family. My husband, I think, is still on the way here, but we've made it almost 40 years together through 26 years in the Air Force, and he is a wonderful person. And we have several of our children here and grandchildren, and I'm grateful for them. They are the source of my joy and rejuvenation every weekend, and times when I get with them. And today I especially want to honor my parents who are with us today, Donald and Joy Chisholm. My mother was a teacher, my dad was a developer. They gave me 5 amazing younger siblings, and several of them are here today, and I thank them for being here. Our parents taught us to work hard, to play hard, to forgive each other, and to embrace life fully, and I am grateful for them. And I was looking for quotes about parents, and I found this one by Alain de Botton. Evidence of good parenting: the child has no desire to be famous. Okay. All right. So we had friends over this weekend, and they were kind of teasing me. They were saying, okay, Galen, why do you want all this power? You know, you have had the nerve to file as a state representative and now as mayor. What's going on? And so my parents succeeded. I have no desire to be famous, but I have a desire to serve and to make our community better for all of us. And that is why I have done the things I have done. And it's really because of the support of all the people around me that I've been able to do what I've done. And it's also because when we moved back here, and I talked to my husband almost 14 years ago, I was in the process of talking him into retiring from the Air Force. And when we came back to Utah, I was fortunate that one of our neighbors, Suzanne Muley, introduced me to Women's State Legislative Council of Utah. And I served for 7 years with this nonpartisan 105-year-old women's organization, learning about our state legislature. And it's because of that that when Marie Polson, who I see here, announced that she was retiring, that people encouraged me to run for office. So we desperately need these groups that allow us as citizens to grow and develop and learn more about the processes and become involved. Some of the women in that group are members of our city, and one of them, Betty Voorhees, is here today. Donna Murphy, Lorraine Turner, who some of you might know, she ran the Butlerville Days for decades. These women were part of that group, also part of Cottonwood Heights. And so I thank all of them. There were men and women in that group who taught me. And I want to thank our past mayors. If we think for a minute what it would be to be Kelvin Cullimore, to be our first mayor, and all the decisions he had, I see him here, everything was new for our city with minimal staff, that he carried our city through such important times and had the vision to create this building that we are in today. And I thank our Mayor Mike Peterson, who is my backdoor neighbor and is such a gentle, wonderful, compassionate person who led our city through the pandemic times and divisive times in our country and even community. And he did that with great leadership. And he's always been invested in our parks, and that big Cottonwood Trail is something that we all enjoy and is such an asset to our community. And I thank our Mayor, Mike Wickers. Anytime we have change, we always have pushback. And we have a beautiful roundabout outside the doors here that we all enjoy, but it took courage for Mayor Wickers to lead us through that, to get that installed, and also for our town center, that we will be building a city center that has been part of our general plan for 20 years. And that took great courage from our Mayor Mike Wickers to lead us to that as well. So I thank all of these great men. I thank our council members who are currently serving. All of them have more experience than me on our council. I am sure they will be guiding and helping me as I learn more about our city, and I thank them. I know that they will be collaborative and that we will have great unity and strength together. I want to just briefly share some of the challenges that I see. And Councilmember Burrell alluded to one of them, which is our changing climate. And I believe that we as a city can rise to the challenge and really work on our water conservation so that we can preserve Great Salt Lake. It's our outdoor water use that largely is hurting the lake. And we can do our parts, each one of us, in our way. And I also know that we can make our homes and area more fire resistant, because we've seen just the disasters around the nation and around the world, and we can prepare in our city for these challenges. Another challenge that is not just for our city, but for our time now is misinformation and AI. People that are brilliant, that I know well, have read articles and thought it was true to find out it wasn't even true. So we all have to, or sometimes there's parts of truth in something that we're reading and parts not. So we're at a very difficult time, and I look especially at all the young people I'm seeing, that this is a time when we always have to double check our references and see if there's another source that we trust that can confirm, so that we make good choices for our families and for our communities, and that we are not being led astray by things that aren't even true and valid. And I see that as so important. And then I'm going to talk briefly about the challenges that our city faces. We are an amazing community. I'm looking at your faces, and I know so many of you, and our community has some of the brightest, strongest individuals in our state that live in our city. And it is a complete honor for me to serve as your mayor. So many of you could be doing this job. I just happen to be ready and willing to do this. But our city has a financial challenge in front of us. For the past 7 years, we have been running into our reserves to make our balance sheet even at the end of the year, which we're mandated to do. So we want a balanced budget, but we've been eating into our reserves, not just once, but for the past 7 years. And that that is not going to serve us well. And so I'm committed our staff has been looking and will continue to look, but they've been doing that for 7 years. So we're at a point where we probably need to raise the revenues to have the support for our staff at this critical time as we are preparing to invest and want the best outcome for our city center, for the development of the gravel pit and the old mill area that are the owners ready for development. And we want to have our staff have what they need to prepare and do the best for us. I see us, all the city, our staff, our council as a team. And we must support them at this critical time, as well as our amazing officers who stand ready to help our city at any time and our fire. These are the basic functions of our society, is to provide safety for you, the citizens. And so we want to be fully prepared to do these things. Okay, so the thing I'm really excited about is working with all of you, the citizens. I've worked with you as your state representative, and I know many of you very well. And now I'm happy to focus on our city and the things that we can achieve together right here in our city. And so I'm also going to offer that we have a book group 3 times a year. I'd like to do it in March, August, and November. And the first book we're going to read is Critical Conversations, which is a favorite book of one of our council members. And I just think there are many ways we can get together and connect and learn together. And our city is truly built on this foundation of citizen leadership, citizen engagement. And I want to help that just flourish. And we see this with the people that laid, some of the individuals that laid the foundation for our city. Karen Morgan was serving, as we know, as our state representative in 1999. And at this time, the Salt Lake County Commissioners were talking about the need to end the areas that weren't incorporated and get them all incorporated and have wall-to-wall cities. And this meant that the surrounding cities were looking at annexing parts of this area. And so she was approached by 2 individuals. One of them is Gordon Nichols, who is here today. He was I want to get this title right. He was the president of the Cottonwood Heights Community Council at that time. And Kit Lindsay has passed away. He was an attorney with Holiday City, familiar with everything that needed to happen to have an incorporation because Holiday had just done it. Those 2 men spearheaded the effort to have a feasibility study done for our city. And they had a deadline of the end of 2001. And it was, so they just, in a quick year's time, they had to get support of citizens, signatures, and they went to Karen Morgan as their representative and asked her to join them. And those 3 of them did that work to get all that paperwork done so that we could have the feasibility study done and given to the county for them to approve a feasibility study for us. There was opposition, and I'm sure Kelvin Cullimore and many others were involved in getting us through this process. This is from Karen Morgan. I'll never forget how excited the 3 of us were as we finally delivered all of the necessary information to the Salt Lake County offices by the deadline. This is 21 years ago now, or 2. We were relieved when our request for a feasibility study was granted. We were thrilled in May of 2002 when the county's final report indicated that it was feasible for our area to incorporate. An incorporation committee was established to move the potential city's creation forward. In May of 2004, nearly 85% of the citizens in this area voted overwhelmingly in favor of incorporation. And Cottonwood Heights was incorporated in January 14th of 2005 with Kelvin Cullimore as the first mayor. So we are going to honor these 2 individuals today. We have a plaque. Do we have? Yeah, we have a plaque to give to both of them because this is the type of engagement I want to keep fostering. You are all experts in so many things, and you will help us as council members when we get to difficult questions, and I want to encourage that kind of engagement. Okay, so come on up and we'll give you your, we'll have both of you come on up, Gordon and who is this one on? Okay, all right. So Karen Morgan, I want to thank her for being an example for us as women. So we know that our society has been led for men for decades, for centuries, and it's really in the last 50 years that women have come into leadership positions more. And this benefits society overall to have more of us as women in leadership roles. We are equally bright and willing and able. And so I just want to thank Karen for being that example, for opening the pathway for me and others to serve in leadership as women. Now, Gordon and I are connected in ways many of you might not know. So I live in the house that he built. And Gordon, he was one of the first EMTs in our state, is that right? Paramedics in our state. He was a firefighter with the paramedics, and he's a realtor. And again, he was the president of our city community council when he took the effort to work for that feasibility study. So, and his daughter was sworn in. Chris Nickel is here today. And she was sworn in today as a city council member in Sandy. So we can see how important it is that we have parents, that we have people that are leaders that show us the way and show us that we can do it. So I thank Gordon for his leadership. Gordon and Karen might want to say.
I just want to let you know that one of the most important things in forming the city, please excuse my voice, forming the city was a great incorporation committee that we had. Kelvin Cullimore and I worked very closely on that committee, and we spent many, many hours, many, many years working to form the city of Cottonwood Heights. Because we love this community. We want this community to survive and grow, be one of the greatest cities in the state of Utah. So
What incredible leaders we have with our new mayor and our city council and all of the support staff, everyone who has helped to make, I believe, Cottonwood Heights City is the greatest city in all of Utah, if not the entire nation, right? Come on. I want to congratulate our new mayor and council members and thank them for their willingness to serve, for the time that they have spent and will spend, for their dedication and commitment to our community. With all of you, Cottonwood Heights is assured of a bright future ahead. So I would like to again thank all of you for being here today, and then we'd invite you now to a reception and refreshments in the back. Thank you again.